My grandparents never raised their voices. That was what made the rules stick. They didn't shout it, didn't wrap it in superstition or dress it up as a story meant to scare a child into obedience. They told it the way you tell someone where the fire extinguisher is kept, or which breaker not to touch because it will kill you. "If anyone ever falls down the old well," my grandmother said once, standing in the laundry room with the window cracked open, "you leave them there." She was folding towels as she spoke, aligning the edges with a care that felt excessive, her fingers trembling slightly, as if the fabric resisted her. She didn't look at me when she said it. She didn't need to. I was 4 the first time I heard the rule. I laughed, because it sounded ridiculous, and because children are supposed to laugh at rules that don't make sense. You laugh to test them, to see if they break. My grandfather stopped me. He didn't raise his voice either. He didn't even frown. He just looked at me, the way you look at a dog that has spotted something dangerous and is already leaning forward, muscles coiled. "You promise," he said. "Not say you understand. Not do you get it." I nodded. I promised. The well sat down the hill behind the house, half swallowed by weeds and thyme. Tall grass leaned over it, and thorny vines crawled across its stones as if trying to stitch it shut. The stone rim was cracked and uneven, like the teeth of a rotten mouth pried open toward the depths of the earth. I could see it from my bedroom window at night. A perfect black circle where the moonlight simply stopped. A circle of nothingness. I asked my grandfather many times why he didn't just board it up properly, nail it shut, pour concrete into it like people did in towns. "It's best not to interfere," he said. "Interfere with what?" "With what's down there. Just stay away." "Yeah, well, Grandpa, we barely acknowledge it anyway, so it's fine. Unless I lean in extremely close, I can't fall down." He considered this for a moment. "Good," he said. "Then don't." If I walked close to the well, close enough that the air felt cooler around my ankles, I could sometimes hear water shifting below, slow and deliberate, as if something were pacing back and forth in the dark. Sometimes there was breathing, sometimes nothing at all. Once I heard my name. When I told my grandparents, they didn't ask what it sounded like. They didn't ask if I was sure. My grandmother just said, "You stay away from it. If someone falls, you don't help them." That made sense when I was little. Rules often do. They exist in the same category as don't touch the stove and don't run into the road. As a teenager, though, a rule I could barely understand turned irritating. "What if Sonia falls down?" I demanded one afternoon. Sonia was my little sister. "You don't help her out," my grandmother said. "What? Just leave her to die there?" "No," she replied calmly. "You can talk to her, you can feed her, throw her things, whatever she needs, just don't pull her out." I stared at her, waiting for the punchline that never came. "But she won't fall in," she added, looking at me then. "She won't, Ilya." She said it the way people say it won't rain when they absolutely do not believe it. The farmhouse was relatively isolated, surrounded by open fields and stretches of forest that blurred into one another at the edges. Occasionally, tourists would cycle by, bright helmets flashing between trees, stopping to admire the quiet. None would go close enough to the well, though, which was fine. Years passed. I turned 22. My sister Sonia turned 17. I got her a kitten for her birthday, small, dainty, and white as snow. She called it Misha, and would often take him out to the meadow and play with him. One day, I looked up from my book to see her standing in the doorway, eyes wide open and bloodshot. I raised my brows. "Son?" I didn't mean to. I fell asleep and Misha just... He fell. My mouth went dry. "Did you pull him out?" "No," she responded as her voice died down. "He's still down there. I can hear him meowing. He is too little to climb out. He can't... His paws are too small." I shook my head. "I'm sorry." Sonia's brows dropped. "They said someone. Not something. It's a cat, Ilya. A fucking cat. What, if I just lowered a bug by a thread and pulled it out, I would break the rules?" "Rule. Singular." She scoffed. "I'll ask Grandma." I shrugged. I saw Sonia out the window walking towards our grandma, then guessed her response by the way her shoulders dropped. For the next 2 days, Sonia sat by the well throwing food down and talking to little Misha. The third night brought in a terrible cold wind. By morning, the well was quiet. Sonia cried for a week. 4 years later, some girl ran away from home. We saw it on the news. Her parents had reported her missing. We didn't know why she ran away, but hoped some creep wouldn't take advantage of her. The chances we'd spot her were very low, since her town was 50 or 60 miles away from the farmhouse. And yet, a month after the news, I was upstairs and happened to glance outside and see a figure, small and fragile. The figure grew as it went up the hill. I went down the stairs and darted out the door, stopping as my grandpa yelled out at her to leave. "You're trespassing," he blurted, but I could see that he was uncomfortable. She was wearing a yellow jumper and had dark brown hair. If it weren't for the jumper, we wouldn't have recognized her. "Please, I just need a place to spend the night. I'll be out in the morning." Something in her eyes demanded mercy, understanding. We didn't report her to the authorities because she told us that her father used to beat her and abuse her, and that she was planning to get out of the country and follow up on her dream to become a writer. She was likable, that girl. A year or two younger than me, and with a wicked sense of humor. She was the first girl I'd seen in ages, since I dropped out to take care of my grandparents and the farm. A night turned into two, into a week. She'd help around and keep me company while I worked. She'd tell me short stories, and I'd listen because I liked her voice. I never told her about the well. Didn't want to creep her out, and in truth, I didn't want her to think I was a weirdo. I secretly hoped she liked me. One day we went on a walk through the woods. As we passed the well, she asked about it. "Don't worry, it's nothing. Don't go near it. You can easily fall in." "Is it deep?" she asked, stepping closer to the well. A knot tied into my stomach. "Hey, easy," I said. "Hey, please be careful." She placed her hands on the rim and looked down. "It's not that deep. I can see the water below. Don't. Please come back." My mouth was dry, and my voice cracked a little. She shot me a curious look. "What? You afraid I'm gonna fall? Would you miss me?" "Dina, please just come back. I've been warned about that well since I was a child. It's sinister. I've been told not to pull out anyone who falls inside." She turned sober. "Is that true?" "Yes." A pause followed. I felt she didn't believe me, but didn't want to know anymore. I want to say she came back. I want to say she didn't trip and fall, as if some invisible force had pushed her down. I want to say I didn't yell and rush to the rim, looking down, to see Dina's head emerging from the darkness. That's not what happened, though. I heard her gasp down there and then laugh nervously. "Fuck, Ilya, it's not that deep, but I don't think I can climb out. I may have sprained my ankle. Just throw me in a rope or something." I stepped away. Ilya, you can't be serious." A rule was a rule. I was raised to follow rules. My throat tightened. I'll take care of you." I couldn't hear her answer as I rushed back to the house, telling my grandma what had happened in between sobs. I begged her to let me pull her out, as if her will could bend the rule. The next months were cruel and bleak. I would throw her food and clothes, even a pillow. I stopped throwing in things that were too voluminous, in fear that she might stack them on top of each other and climb out. I willingly trapped another human being with hopes and dreams inside that well. Over the weeks, her voice hollowed out. I can't describe it. Deep down, I feel that the whole thing was a fucking hoax and I just let her die without any reason. But I swear she started pausing before answering me, as if she was listening to something else first. Even her spirit, her presence, felt different. You have to believe me. Something clung to her down there. When we talked, it wasn't just the two of us. I'm not even sure how many intruders there were in our conversations. She would keep telling me stories. Strange ones. She'd tell me about dreams she had, of death and rot, and once, she told me she found a kitten. I even heard a faint meowing as she said that. That was the last time I visited the well. That was almost 3 years ago. Whatever was down there was surely fucking dead. A few minutes ago, I heard a knock at the door. It was around 7 p.m., and the sky had darkened enough for the porch light to be on. Through the kitchen window, I could make out a silhouette in the mist. Broad shoulders, head tilted down. The knocking came again, and a voice. "Hey, could you help me out, please? Please?" I looked through the peephole to see a man around my age, uncomfortable and soaking wet. Hey, I responded, my hand on the doorknob, either to open the door or lock it. I wasn't entirely sure. What happened? My car broke down 1.5 miles away. You're the only house I can see, and, I was climbing up the hill to you guys, and I fell down that well. He snuffled and wiped his face for the second or third time. I yelled so much until some tourist riding his bike pulled me out. I think I hurt my knee. I'm so fucking cold. My hand tensed up on the knob. What? What do you mean, fell down? I absently asked. Yeah, I fell down. He looked up and I could see he was hurt and shaken. His eyes were red from the cold or the crying. I could have died. Some tourist pulled you out? Yeah. He was biking down the hill. He called a towing company for me, but they said they can get here in the morning. Can you please open? You fell down the well and someone pulled you out? He paused for a moment. I could see his eyes searching for something wrong in his question. Yes, he responded, slightly annoyed. That's what I said. I stared at the perfectly normal dude outside my door. If he was completely fine, then I let Dina die for nothing, for some stupid fucking rule my crazy grandparents had made up. My mind braced for an impact that never came. I was gradually swept up by an immense sadness, an immense disappointment in myself and my family. Did you see something down there? Man, look, I didn't fucking inspect the well. I was focused on getting out. It was too dark for me to see. Just let me in and the four of us can talk. I'm soaking wet and it's January. My grandparents are sleeping upstairs. How the fuck did he know there would be 4 of us in the house? As I'm typing this, he is begging me to open the door. Should I? Or should I let him die, like I let Dina die? Is he even alive?